So we're looking at Poliwrath EX. This looks like a phenomenal card. It's a very different sort of evolution because obviously we're going from water to fighting, but it definitely has got some incredible power if you can get it set up, especially now with the rare candy that we've got involved. It could be a very decent, I'd say mid to top tier deck. I don't think it's a low one, and to be honest, it's definitely more on the higher end of the mid in my opinion. But in terms of Poliwrath, 180 HP, we've obviously got the Hydro Knuckle, which is doing 100 damage on the just basic. That is if you've got the fighting, the obvious colorless, twice, and if you do have a water energy in one of them, or even the fourth, whatever, you will be able to do 40 more damage on top of it. Now, obviously, utilizing some other aspects, for instance, some Pokemon, or even some different availabilities like Misty as the ability to get a water energy without technically having water energies on, because you don't want to have that struggle of maybe not getting enough fighting. You could easily go on the first 3 turns and only get water. You need a fighting at the absolute minimum. So it's always utilizing the different items that we've got. And in terms of the deck that we've got in general, this is the kind of new set that we're kind of seeing. You will find yourselves the Poliwag and the Poliwrath. I believe they have got multiple cards, so we will obviously look through them. But we've got Call for Family. Put one random Poliwag from your deck onto your bench. Does give you that ability to just bring one out for you straight away, which is nice. It's not necessarily what I personally would do in an active spot, but if needs must, it's there just in case. Poliwhirl with the Ram for 30. We then also have the Mantite coming in as a baby Pokemon. Take a water energy from your energy zone and attach it to a benched basic Pokemon. That is going to be the perfect out right there, especially if you can go and get it on both Poliwags before the turns even really started. That's going to mean massive implications for the rest of the actual one. Now, looking through a few more, if you go through some of the colourless, I know we have got some decent ones coming in, but realistically they are more... they're more your standard. Like Zangoose seems to be quite a decent one with counter attack. Obviously, if you wanted to have that and Rocky Helmet, it's almost like a Drudagon, but without the HP. And it does 50 back for the double energy as well. But you are taking more away from necessarily the Poliwrath and kind of keeping it into the Zangoose there. And there's no ability to put him any water energy on as well. In terms of the different trainers that we've got a couple of the tools, which is pretty cool. I don't think really there's anything too crazy for Poliwrath in this. The retreat cost of the water Pokemon attached is 1 less, standard. And then we've got the Pokemon attached to the previous evolutions. You still need the necessary energy to use it. So you can use any... oh, okay. That makes sense. So it's almost... you can buy battle passes and even coins from 100 all the way up to 58,000. There's also items and boosted available on Pokemon Go. When it comes to Pokemon Pocket, there's Pokegold that you can buy from the site, and also items such as trade-in from any stars from 1 all the way up to 3, and potentially more in the future. Eldorado also offer money back guarantee and also 24/7 live support. If you need any further recommendations, Trustpilot have plenty of Eldorado reviews that you can scan through and just check that this site is for you. And before you check out, make sure that you use the code POKEJT before you check out for 5% off your orders. That is pretty cool. I've not really played the actual TCG, so that's probably been in there for a long time. I haven't really played that much, and that's just a new ability that unlocks maybe something really cool for a mid or basic evolution that you've not really seen before. So that's always interesting. Obviously, heal Miltank, look at the top 4, Psychic Pokemon. So we are having to go back across. Now, in terms of the deck that people are looking at, the only one that I'm kind of hesitant with is Kamala. Again, it's very single play. It's nothing necessarily too crazy on it. If you have a look at it, you've obviously got 90 HP on it. It does come from the Celestial Guardians pack. You've obviously got, as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever you attach an energy from your energy zone to it, it is now asleep. Again, I get it, and most definitely 70 on the attack is incredible. Like that's massive. But he has only got 90 HP. And it will be very interesting to see if you could actually get that to really work in the deck, especially when you are looking for the Poliwrath. Mantike is going to be the obvious one. That is what you really want to have in that starting slot. So for me, I possibly would take out Kamala and kind of put all my eggs on Poliwrath, because at least then you've got the kind of 4 different, either 2 Poliwags or 2 Mantikes are going to be the first one that comes in there. So I personally would put my money on that one. I'd potentially use Mantike as just a almost just sacrifice to be able to get that water energy, because once you're there with it, Poliwrath does a massive amount of damage. Now obviously with this deck there is going to be more of a 1 Poliwhirl, just because obviously you've got the rare candy in there as well. You then obviously have the Poop Pokemon Communication, just in case you are struggling to get it. Maybe you've got Poliwag into Poliwhirl, but then you've not got a Poliwrath in there. You've obviously got someone like a Mantike who you've already used. You could obviously offer that up to get your Poliwrath in. Sabrina to obviously change attacks if needed. Leaf is obviously for the retreat cost. Pokemon Communication. Cyrus is always a fan favorite. Arinda coming in as well, which is it's a decent one if anything. It does the heal damage on water Pokemon. Again, whether that's really going to be too happy or not, because obviously if you've gone straight into Poliwrath, it is a fighting energy. The rare candies are going to be a massive Pokeballs and Professor's Research. Now, it's not necessarily the most complicated deck. It's a very single-use deck. It is just Mantike in to get the water energy for Poliwag. Poliwag goes into Poliwrath, and just do as much damage as possible. Now, they've even included what you'd kind of do to get away from this deck as well, and it is going to be the weakness. Any sort of Psychic deck that can set up pretty well is going to do pretty well against it. I must admit, this is where the counters for this deck isn't necessarily going to be too difficult. So it's only going to be a matter of time until you do come up against that Psychic Pokemon that will most definitely just wrap its head around it. So in general, it is one of them ones that you've got to have a bit of fun with it. It's a decent deck to say the least. I like the difference in the Poliwrath, and hopefully we do get a Politoed at some point, which I thought we could have got in this one. So we'll see how that goes, and we've got plenty of the dogs to finish.